If you're watching this, there's a good chance you've already known about monthly giving for a while. Not just that it works, but that you should probably have built it by now. And if I had to guess, it's been sitting in that category of important, but not urgent. Something you'll get to after the next campaign, the next event, the next busy season. But here's the truth most people don't say. The reason this hasn't been built yet isn't because you don't care. It's because you haven't had a clear, structured way to actually do it. So today, I'm going to show you exactly how this works. But more importantly, I'm going to help you answer one question. Is this the moment you finally build it? Let's go ahead and dive into the dashboard. This is the dashboard. This is the part I really want you to hear. This is not something that you add to your plate. It's the thing that replaces the way you've been trying to build this up until now. Because what I see most often is ideas in Google Docs, half-finished plans. We'll come back to this later. This takes all of that and it turns it into a system you can actually complete. So the time you put in here replaces time you would have spent building all of this from scratch or often never building it at all. So before you touch a single step of the dashboard gives you this really cool monthly giving forecaster. So when we're down here, before we even get into the steps, you can put in all of your current numbers or your best guess if you're pre-launch, and it will show you your revenue runway over the next 12 to 36 months. And here's a number, let's just put some in that I want you to sit with for a second. If you had 100 monthly donors giving an average, you can see on the right-hand side, the numbers are changing, of $45 every month, and let's just say you can bring in, let's be conservative here, 2 per each month, and let's go over to annual retention rate of 80. Okay, right now you're at roughly 46. Let's even make this higher. Let's see, because this is usually like 85. So you're at about 4,800 in monthly recurring revenue. That's over $57,000, close to $58,000 a year in predictable, no events required, grant application, annual fund pushes. That is what a healthy monthly giving program produces. Now, here's why I want to talk about costs because I know it's on your mind. The monthly giving builder is $499 for the year, about $42 a month. But if $499 feels like a lot to commit to before you've seen what your program can do, there's also a month-to-month option at $49.99 a month. No annual commitment. Start, use it, see the results. Either way, here's the math that matters. One new monthly donor giving $42 a month covers your tool cost within 2 months. On either plan. That's one donor. That's the threshold return. So now here's what most people don't calculate. What is it costing you to not have built this yet? Because this isn't hypothetical revenue. This is revenue that your organization is already positioned to receive. It just doesn't have the system in place to capture it yet. The point is there's no price barrier left between you and starting this today. So now I want to go up into the 5-step framework that guides you through the launch and building of a monthly giving program. So create the product is step number 1. This is where the personalization starts. Here, you're not just filling in a template that assumes that you're a food bank or an animal shelter. You are answering questions about your mission, your community, your brand, and the builder will generate from this point forward. Everything is built on these answers. So again, you're going to start with, what does your organization do? What do you want monthly donors to feel when they join? There are voice to text buttons right here. You can just talk to it if writing feels slow. Then you select your organization size, local, regional, or national, and describe your brand themes so that when you go to click generate names down here, once it's all populated, the builder will use everything you just told it, your mission, your community, your visual identity, to suggest 3 program names that fit your organization. Not generic, names that could only belong to you. And you can always regenerate. And once you land on a name, it will generate your full program foundation, your mission statement, your community vision, your why statement, and all of the PDF downloads will be right here. Okay, so for example, let's just say as I'm going to fill this out, I created a fake organization. What does the organization do? It's called Roots and Wings. So I have pre-populated this. So what does the organization do? What do I want them to feel by joining? Like they are the reason. that a specific young person has made it through a hard month. This is Metro Atlanta, so I'm going to say regional. As far as our brand guidelines, I'm going to give it some information here. You can also upload a brand guidelines document as a PDF. And now you'll be able to see I can generate those names. It's going to populate in here. Again, I can go ahead and choose from one of the three, or I can go ahead and I could also fill out my own name. So this will populate 3 names for you, but let's just say I already have a name. And this is called Roots and Wings. It's called The Roots. Use this name. So now it's set as my program name and I can create my monthly giving foundation. It's going to have all the information and I can download the PDF right here. Okay. And then after I put my name in, you'll also see that as those 3 names were populating, it was giving me options too: the soft landing, the net, and then the landing. So I could say, the net, not for me. The landing I actually really like. Maybe I want to switch it. Maybe I want to keep it and I can just X out, but my other name will still be there. So here, all of the PDF downloads, I can download the PDF. And then as this is downloading, it's also going to save in this documents section right here. So this document that when you show it to your executive director or your board makes the monthly giving program feel real for the first time. It's not a concept anymore. It has a name, it has a language, it exists. That PDF is yours. Share it with whoever needs to see it before you move forward. This is also the moment where most teams shift from we should do this someday to we have something real here. And that's important because for a lot of you, this isn't a solo decision. So now what we're going to do is we're going to head over, we're going to hit continue. We're going to go into step 2, and this is make it easy. This is the donor audit experience. So it is one of the most practically useful parts of the whole builder. You will tell it your donation platform, whether it's FundraiseUp, GiveButter, Bloomerang, Donor Perfect, whatever you're using, and your CRM. Input your website URL. It will then ask you, so let's just say I use GiveButter and I use Bloomerang, and then I could go ahead and start my audit, and it's going to ask me a series of questions about what the giving experience looks like for your donors right now. And this is also where I want to answer a question that I hear a lot is, will this actually work for our setup? Because every organization feels a little different behind the scenes. The answer is yes, because this isn't asking you to rebuild your systems. It's helping you optimize what you already have. Okay. Then you'll go down into building your giving tiers. You can choose between impact-based amounts. So the example here is $22 equals 1 week of family groceries. So you can list those out for your organization, or a daily giving concept here, which is like 50 cents for just 50 cents a day. X can happen. You pick what fits best for your organization, and these tiers will carry forward into your landing page copy, your email series that we'll be working on, in other tasks. Nothing is siloed. Okay. Next, I'm just giving you a quick peek behind the scenes into each of these steps. Number 3 is call in the believers. And this is where something shifts. So up until now, you've been building the foundation, and here you start creating things. First, you're going to define your super fans. So here, again, I have this pre-drafted information. So the more information, the better prompts you give it, the better outputs it's going to have for you. So you define the super fans, the people who already believe in your mission and just need a clear, compelling invitation to give consistently. I'm going to go ahead and click generate my landing page copy. So as this is working, describe them in your own words, their values, their motivations, how they already show up for your organization. Then the builder will generate your complete landing page copy. And I'm going to show you what this means. So as it's thinking right now, and it is based all on my own IP and knowledge from doing this for the past 6 years. So it's using my formula of what a monthly giving landing page, a separate page on your website, should include. So everything from a main headline, sub-headline, above form copy, program copy, benefits list, social proof, call to action, all of it written for you in your organization's voice based on those brand guidelines, built entirely from your answers in steps now 1 through 3. And I know there's often hesitation around AI generated copy, not because you don't believe it works, but you don't want it to sound generic or disconnected from your mission. And that's why this works differently, right? It's not starting from a template, it's building from your inputs. So what you get here, and you can see it, isn't AI content, it's your messaging just structured faster. So you can look at this: help foster youth land softly and stay standing when they age out of care. I love that. It knows the Metro Atlanta piece in here. It's pulling a steady net for foster youth stepping into adulthood. So you can take this with 1 click, you can drop it into your website, you can refine it from there. You can copy all, tweak the copy in a Google Doc, This is the workflow. So the builder, what it really does is surfaces expansion channels that we never get to because you're really busy running campaigns. It really hands you the list. You don't have to generate it from scratch. So same thing here as we scroll down, it will also help you identify your values aligned partners. So organizations you already work with, and it will give you a list of partners you may have never thought of before, from content creators, podcasts, medias, businesses. And you can download the PDFs through here as well. So moving on to step number 4, this is where your monthly giving strategy stops being a document and becomes a plan with dates on it and people assigned. Most people think, I don't have time to build a monthly giving strategy. But what we usually find is you already have the touch points. You're just not using them for this. So this isn't about doing more. It's about doing what you're already doing, just differently. Okay. So here it's going to have your current growth metrics. It's going to pull in from before. You can put in what you want to achieve. So current MRR and then your goal. And the builder will show you exactly what you need to hit these goals. These are not vague encouragement. These are actual numbers: donors needed, revenue needed, growth percentage. Then you go into your quarterly growth calendar. Again, this step doesn't ask you to build something new from scratch. It starts by auditing what you're already doing, existing events and campaigns, okay? Your newsletter, your events, your thank you calls, your social posts. And then it will show you how many of those moments are untapped monthly giving opportunities. There's an evergreen strategy. When they run this audit, they normally find that 4 or 5 of these touch points they already have that are not being used for monthly giving asks. So you're not necessarily needing to add new campaigns. You're adding one line to a thank you email you're already sending, one call to action to your newsletters, right? The infrastructure is there. The builder just helps you activate it. And then this is the part that I want you to pay attention to. We scroll down to this 4-part email acquisition series. It is timed here. It is sequenced. It is written for you, ready to drop into whatever email platform you use. Okay. This is huge. You are not writing these from scratch. You will get a first draft here after you click generate my 4-part series. This is going to go out to your one-time supporters right here, one-time donors, 2 monthly supporters, and you can tweak it as you see fit, right? You're editing them and you are scheduling them. So you have that here, and then a complete growth summary. As you go through and populate, it is going to create this summary for you based upon what you've filled out. And then last but not least is step number 5. This is share joy and gratitude. And it's where the long game gets built. Because getting monthly donors is one thing, keeping them is what actually builds predictable revenue. And this is where a lot of organizations feel stuck because it's not like you don't care, but because there's not a system for retention. So instead of expecting you to create something complex, this step focuses on what matters. What are the few things that need to happen consistently to keep donors engaged? So here you'll do a reflection on what you're currently working on, what your non-negotiables are. Okay, so you're going to set your anchors, a simple 4-part welcome series that it will help draft for you, and 1 monthly touch point. That's your foundation. The builder creates it for you, right? It's written. If I go down here, then you have this omni-channel brainstorm that if you're using direct mail, you can go in here, say, yes, we are, answer the questions about it, build out your plan. It will create for you your retention stack. You can go through each month of what may be really memorable moments or opportunities for you, milestone opportunities. It's prompting you to think about a plan. Here's the welcome sequence, right? Again, same thing, written, timed, ready to plug into your email platform. It will also map out the retention plan over time, right? So you're not guessing how to keep people. You now have a system for it. And for many organizations, this is the point where things click, because the question isn't just, can we get donors? It's, can we sustain this? And this is what makes the answer yes. So after you do all of this in the document section, now I only have a couple in here right now because of what I haven't gone through the whole program, but your emails, all the PDFs that you download are saved here in one place, ready to view, ready to download, ready to share. And again, this matters because it makes this real, no longer just an idea. So when you bring this to your team, you're not saying anymore like, I think we should do this. You're showing them this is what we're building. And that makes the decisions of action much easier. Okay. So again, I just want to state with you, The monthly giving builder, all of this is $499 for the year or just $49.99 a month if you want to start there. And either way, the math is simple. One new donor, $42 a month, covers your costs within 2 months. So this really isn't a question of ROI. It's a question of timing, because every month that this does not exist in your organization is a month of recurring revenue that you're not bringing in. And again, not because donors wouldn't give, but because the system to invite them isn't there yet. And if you've been thinking about building this for a while, you already know it's not a matter of if, it's just been a matter of when. So the real decision is, are you going to keep pushing this later, or are you finally going to build it? Because later always comes with a cost. And right now, what's been missing isn't effort or intention. It's a clear way to actually do it. And this is what this gives you. So if you're ready, you can start today. And if you're not fully sure yet, just start with the monthly option. Either way, this doesn't need to stay on your list anymore. Let's start building.